Off with your head.
Welcome to Movie Phone's Unscripted. I'm Wasikowska and I'm here with Anne Hathaway and Helena Bonham to talk about our film Alice in Wonderland. We're going to ask each other some of your questions as well as some of our own, so I'll start with the first question. Okay, this is from Shannon, Oswego, Illinois. You're not afraid to experiment with unique looks for your characters. Do you prefer to appear as yourself in a movie or in character makeup?
I tend to like dressing up, as you can tell. This is sort of, Tim would say I'm not afraid to experiment with unique looks as me, as a person, because every time I get dressed, I tend to like sort of dressing up and everything. But no, I don't know what it is like with you guys, but I love not looking like me. Mm-hmm. In fact, every time I watch a film that I'm in fact, I try not to, I'm so depressed because it's always, I go like, I look like me again, so the chance of blowing up my head was just like, thank God,
It's kind of the saddest thing about it is you do all this work to transform yourself and then you go to see the film and you're like, but I just look like me again. Like I was hoping that maybe, I don't know, something shifted. From Robert from Austria. How would you describe the change between the young Alice, we all know, and the new grown-up Alice?
I would say that the young Alice definitely kind of knows what she likes and doesn't like and what sits well with her. And then the older Alice, she's 19 in our story, so she's at a different time in her life and she's dealing with different things and she's kind of more awkward and uncomfortable in her skin and in the society that she lives in, and she suddenly has all these pressures upon her shoulders. So the story for Alice is just sort of coming back to herself and finding like that younger Alice again.
But it's sort of like, still like a growing up thing. Because a lot of people are going like, oh my God, it's not the original story. And I go like, no, but it's still the same theme. It's still about growing up and not knowing who you are and trying to find yourself.
Yeah, sometimes your
courage and everything.
And the original kind of story and world completely overlap with the world in our version.
Yeah.
Lest you're worried.
Oh, I have a question. So Anne.
Yes.
This is from Malia from Brazil. Did you think of anyone for your inspiration as the White Queen?
I got really into Debbie Harry, and so I started to listen to a lot of Blondie, kind of the idea that someone can look so sweet but actually be very tough and fierce, and I think.
Why did you immediately go for Debbie Harry?
Well, I think I was looking at a lot of blondes just because I was transitioning, and so I tried to look at some iconic ones, and I thought that, with the Queen, I thought, oh, well, at first Grace Kelly, and then I thought, oh, but I've seen so many, like, regal queens. I wanted to make her kind of left of center, so I wanted to introduce a punk element to her. Yeah. And then, because she is a queen, I still wanted her to be graceful, so I looked at a lot of Garbo's early films.
See, I love the way that you move.
Yeah.
The gliding. I think you should use it in
real life. This is your first major leading role. What was the best piece of advice you got from Tim Burton or the cast while making the movie?
The best advice I got from Tim, or that we discussed at the beginning of filming, was just she can be such a figure and an icon, but what we really wanted to do was just sort of take that away and strip it down and just find like the teenage Alice that was very relatable to a lot of other young people and going through similar things.
We gave you great advice, didn't we?
Yeah, and as for you two, I wouldn't even go there.
We are just natural, mentors. You say, oh, that's how you behave.
Yes.
If you could create your own Wonderland, what would you call it? And how would you describe it?
I could create my own Wonderland. I would call it Helenaville.
Oh, yeah.
My Wonderland would have lots and lots and lots of rolling fields and no bugs that bite. And I decided that I love the March Hare's pocket watch, so I think everybody would have a pocket watch as well.
I think they're going to come back.
It's the white rabbits. I'm not going to be pedant, but it is the white. Don't get your rabbits and your hares mixed up.
Oh, you're right. It is the white rabbit. Thank you, darling. No. And Tamia, Unscripted. We get an unscripted one.
Okay, unscript.
Go. I want to pass. I want you to do an unscripted one.
Okay. Give me some. Okay. What were we talking about? Lies and acting. So, do you think we're better at liars than your average person? Because we're paid professionally to lie. Do you think you're good at lying?
I don't know if that's true. It's almost more about just exposing yourself. I mean, it is about lying, but it's like being very honest at the same time. And it's always going between the two. You're kind of being jerked back and forth.
I'm so glad I gave that one over, because the best one that I could come up with was, how many auditions did you have? And that was just dull, so I was like, well, I'll think of something interesting.
If your and Tim's roles were reversed, making you the director and Tim the actor, how well do you think you'd do as a pair?
We wouldn't be a pair. Definitely.
If you got to direct it.
But no, that's kind of us at home, you see. You know, I tell him what to do. Actually, he does call me chief at home, without irony. You know, he wants to have decisions made for him at home. And I think that's sometimes where we go wrong as a couple when we work together, is we forget that it's complete reverse of, you know. Yeah. So I shouldn't really have, I shouldn't speak really when I come to the set. But he is, if I told him what to do, nah, it wouldn't work. We wouldn't be a pair.
Who is your favorite character, and who's your favorite character?
Definitely neither of you two.
Come on.
Okay, I'm going to
Who gave you the Vorpal sword and didn't threaten to cut your head off?
She clothed me.
I gave you clothes.
I did too. I gave you the most loveliest little shalmar.
Okay.
Got the armor, didn't you?
Wow.
And the armor, yes.
Oh yeah, you
Shalwar
clothed me
kameez, that's what I
twice.
gave you.
Okay, well, I would have to say I like the Tweedles, because whenever they come into the story or the movie, they're like refreshing.
They're so sweet.
And they're so sweet.
Oh, and they're so round. They're like
so
my little
innocent
daughter.
And off.
I loved the walk that Matt came up with. Kind of like it was like the bouncy waddle. Oh,
It's so cute.
Anne, you've been a princess. And now you've been a queen. Would you ever want to be royal in real life?
No, I don't think so.
Should we move on?
Yes. There's nothing really left to say.
I just played another queen, because obviously it's,
show off.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
I just played another queen, and reading up about a real queen this time, Elizabeth, Queen Mother. Mm-hmm. It's pretty awful being queen.
Well, you know, I loved Helen Mirren in The Queen, and the scene that made me so sad was, you know, when she had been out walking, and I think it was right after she saw that beautiful stag, and she'd had that experience, and a telephone call came in for her, and she walked into the kitchen. And you think a kitchen is, you know, where you walk in, and you just let your guard down, you sit around, you eat, and you talk, and you do all these things, and everyone froze and left. And she was left alone in the kitchen, and I just thought, oh, that's just
perpetually lonely. Just
awful.
lonely. We need a hug. Queens need hugs. And what are your irritations? Give me some ideas.
I
hate being misquoted. I hate anything.
I hate being misquoted too.
Anything to do with that.
I don't like getting yesed either. You know, when you have a conversation with someone and they just kind of agree with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And we've come to the end of this
Delightful.
most memorable episode of Movie Phones Unscripted. Thank you to Helena. Thank you to Mia. Thank you to Movie Phone and to you for watching and sending in your questions. And please check out our movie, Alice in Wonderland. I think you should be.
TV host.
Is that a TV host?
Yeah.
Do you ever want to be royalty in real life? Oh God!
No, you're doing very, very well.
But I think we can just direct
I got my eyeline wrong. Sorry. Okay.